For being a movie that's only an hour and 28 minutes, I feel like I've already made that amount of video myself talking about this movie, and I'm not done. Hi guys. I know I had said that I was going to watch the commentary and that would be my next video. That was a long time ago. I still have not watched the commentary. I think I'd rather just do some other videos first. I'm afraid that once I watch the commentary, all of my ideas and interpretations might alter, and I don't want that. Today I wanted to talk about Abigail Bishop and Emily. So, who is Abigail Bishop? What do we know? She was in the photo. She was the one who is moodily looking away. She doesn't look wistful. She actually looks unhappy and sour. The parents seem stern, but it also seems correct for the time period. We don't know much about the Bishops, and that's something that you can tell it's a really good movie when you want to know a whole bunch of the backstory, but you never get it. The antique stealer, he says that Abigail died in 1880. She drowned in the cove behind the house, and they never found the body. But there are some who say she never died, and she roams the countryside as a vampire. So, did she die? Did she not wear the wedding dress? Is she a vampire? Did she drown in the cove and become a vampire? Or did she become a vampire and then faked her death in the cove? Did they have nothing to do with one another? There's just so many interesting ways that we could go with this.
Where you folks going?
Other side of Brookfield. It's a farm on Cove Road called the Old Bishop Place. Do you know it?
Yes, I do. Well, we'll be on the other side very soon.
We know the Bishop Place has caused unease around town, and we don't know if it's because of past things or current things, because if people really think that Abigail Bishop became a vampire and never left the town, then maybe they're upset about the Bishop Place because of her connection to it. Or the other option is the Bishops had a weird, sordid past that we don't know about, and unfortunately we'll never know about, and that has just kind of carried on through the years. So Abigail Bishop appears to be the only child of the two bishops. I don't think we ever find out their names. I'm not sure. We don't find out who she was engaged to, because she was supposed to be married, and the antique stealer said that she never got to wear the wedding dress.
You know, the story about the Bishops is really extraordinary.
Yeah.
Abigail never got to wear that wedding dress.
Mr. Dorker.
She drowned in the cove behind her house. Your house, I mean. Never found her body. The legend is that she's still alive. Some say she's a vampire and roams the countryside.
We don't know much other than she was born in 1860 and she died in 1880. And that's what Jessica sees on the tombstone, and the antique stealer says she drowned in 1880. The photo is very important to Abigail, and I don't know if it's because she misses her parents, because she misses her old life, her old self. I'm not sure, because she was upset when Duncan was going to sell it and said you can't just sell people like they were old cars.
Can't we keep this, Duncan?
Put it in.
You're going to sell this?
Yeah.
We hope so.
But they're people. They have history. Can't just sell them like an old car.
People sell old cars.
And then once the photo is sold to the antique stealer, if we're going by what is actually in the movie, the implication would be that he went out fishing, Abigail Bishop got him, killed him, and then grabbed the picture and returned it to its rightful place in the Bishop home. So we could go with the fact that Emily is somehow a descendant, but that does not appear to be possible because if the Bishops only had her, which we don't know, they might have had other children, or they might have had children after Abigail died. But I'm thinking not. I'm thinking Abigail was the end of the line, so there were no descendants and no one to pass the house on to. I don't know. The realtor that the antique dealer mentioned, Duncan says he went down to Florida and he was shown the house by someone else. So that guy could have told him about the Bishop family, but we didn't get to hear about it. And the antique dealer seemed very happy to talk about it, and Jessica seemed interested in listening to it, and it was Duncan who put a stop to it. He cut the guy off, and I think the reasoning was to not upset Jessica or to tell her a ghost story or anything like that. But the whole time, we are on Jessica's side. We're like, we want to hear about this. Keep going. Let him talk. Jessica asks Emily, where are you from? Because you're from somewhere. Emily just kind of brushes it off and says, yeah, I'm from somewhere, but I haven't been back in a long time. And when they ask how long she's been here, she says, oh, ages. Ages. She says, sometimes I hear things, and then she says, nothing is ever completely dead. So all of these little pieces, it could be literal interpretations. She has been here forever. Since 1880, when she died, she's still there. It's almost 100 years. And nothing is ever completely dead. That would imply that she is undead. She's a vampire. So when Emily wants to have a seance and they channel the spirits of anyone who's died in the house, she says in the house. They don't say in the cove. They don't say on the land. And I don't know if that's a distinction that's important, but we hear Emily saying, or Abigail, I guess, saying, I'm here, Jessica, I'm here. I never left. There's a stain on the wall, so kind of a discolored wallpaper area. And I don't know if it's water damage or just stains from over the years. I would like to think it's water damage, which goes hand in hand with the drowning death. And it's a painting of a baby. And it makes me wonder if it's supposed to be Abigail Bishop. And we later see that painting again in better lighting. And the baby is looks like the back of a rowboat. And you could see behind it, there's water and trees, which kind of looks like the Cove. And the baby is holding flowers, some of the petals taken off. And there's the whole thing in the antique shop where Jessica's looking at that Malfiore lamp, which is evil flowers. And she says, how could anything so pretty be evil? Kind of makes me think that it was in there to imply that Abigail's beautiful. How could she be evil? And then Jessica says, it's just old, that's all. So she's kind of explaining away the evil flowers is just, it's old and misunderstood. And that would be also the case for Abigail, old and misunderstood. So I find it very interesting that we have a painting of a baby in a rowboat holding flowers. Could be Abigail, evil, flowers, Abigail, undead, Cove, drowning, water, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So some say that she's a vampire and that she roams the countryside. Then that does fit in with the fact that Emily was squatting in the house, the Bishop house. We get the scene when it's only Jessica and Emily down at the Cove. Emily has pushed her in and is kind of being very rough, trying to, not necessarily trying to drown her, but trying to scare her for sure. And when she comes out of the water wearing that dress,
You're home now.
are many questions. Some of it has to be imagination. Some of it, I guess, could be supernatural explanation. You know, maybe she did die. I always kind of got the impression that she didn't wear the wedding dress, but she might have died in the wedding dress. And then the wedding dress was taken into storage and not buried with her. Maybe she was buried in the wedding dress. Maybe she wasn't buried at all. Maybe she disappeared. I don't know. There's just so much that I would like to know about with this story. Or maybe she can show people hallucinations. So maybe she's implanting that stuff in Jessica's brain. But she does approach her. She does try to bite her neck. And then Jessica runs away. But she also disappeared. It's very unnerving. And when Jessica's cowering in her bedroom and hears Emily talking to her, you know, she's saying, I'm in your blood. I'm in your blood. And blood, vampires, stuff like that. It's hard to tell because we don't know the lore for this type of vampire. She, when she seduces Woody, has a reflection. So she has a reflection. She goes out in the daylight. She's sunbathing. So she's not that kind of a vampire. All the men have wounds that aren't just bite marks. They are actual wounds. They all start out bandaged and then the bandages come off. And the wounds are actually healed over, kind of scarred over. And there are several different types. The guy who takes Jessica into town, he has a big cut on the side of his face that was healed over. There's a guy sitting on a porch, and he has, like, what looks like scratches. So it looks like very close together fingernail marks down his neck. But there's, I don't know, there's like 6 or 7 of them. There's a lot, and they're small. It's like almost like a cat scratched him and then moved over a little bit and scratched more. There's a guy with what appears to be knife marks down his arms. So that one almost looks like a suicide. And we don't know how involved Emily has to be in the death. Like, did she kill all these people, or did she turn people into vampires after they were dead? Are they vampires or are they not vampires? Are these men living, or are they dead and have come back to life, so they're kind of like zombies or vampires? But no one seems to be biting anyone. No one seems to be like needing to survive via making more of themselves. And then Duncan, he has a scar on his neck that hadn't been there. We saw him and Emily downstairs and she was seducing him. Then he has a healed over wound the next day. And Jessica finds it when he's trying to have sex with her. And then Abigail, Emily, comes in with a knife and tries to cut Jessica, so she makes an incision, and then Duncan's sucking on her neck on one side and Emily is on the other. And then the townsmen are in the room, which is very much like Rosemary's Baby. And I don't know if Jessica is hallucinating that part, because when she breaks away, she actually does part through these men, and Emily's there and Duncan's there. So it's not like, maybe some of it's real and some of it's not real. I don't know. And then we could get into the symbolism of it all. You know, maybe she killed Duncan symbolically. Maybe it was the end of their relationship. Maybe it wasn't, he actually was there. Because how did he all of a sudden appear in the water? And why did he die virtually soundlessly when she was stabbing him with the hook? There's so much to go over. It is fascinating to me because this can't entirely be explained away by her being crazy and having a hallucination about some stuff. Because, you know, one of the other theories could be that she has gone completely crazy and has killed all these people and has kind of imagined this whole vampire thing to explain what she has done herself. But she's small, and I don't think she could have killed as many people as she would have had to kill. The mute girl, Woody, like, they had fresh wounds, very bloody. So I don't think that explains it. So I don't think we can rule out actual vampire, but I don't know the lore of this particular type of vampire, because how did she get turned into one? Drowning doesn't make you a vampire. But that's also the beauty of this, you know, there's just so much that is not explained that you have no idea. Hope you enjoyed this video. My ramblings. Have a spooky day.